Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another great episode of Bahrain Now. I'm your host Khalid Hijras, here to walk you through our exciting lineup of segments and personalities from around the Kingdom of Bahrain. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. The regional platform dedicated to driving net zero and nature positive solutions, the Sustainability Forum Middle East, has recently brought together nearly 100 senior businesses and sustainability leaders in order to facilitate dialogue and cross-sector engagement as organizations in Bahrain and around the region work to advance their sustainability and climate objectives and commitments. In attendance were senior representatives from the forum's partners, members of its regional advisory committee, senior executives, and sustainability experts from leading public and private sector organizations in Bahrain and beyond. And to talk more about that, we are pleased to be joined here today in the studio by Ms. Zahra Tahir from Finmark Communications, who is the organizer of Sustainability Forum Middle East. Welcome, how are you doing today?
Alhamdulillah, very fine. Thank you, Khalid, for the introduction.
And thank you so much for joining us. So could you start by telling us about the goals of the Sustainability Forum Middle East and how it supports the region's transition to net zero and nature positive solutions?
In 2022, when His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, Crown Prince and Prime Minister of our Kingdom of Bahrain, announced Bahrain's commitment towards net zero in 2060, and at the same time, the whole region, we had Saudi announcing their commitment for net zero goal 2060. I believe UAE and Oman announced their 2050 goal, and Qatar will be announcing soon. So we at Finmark Communications, we thought that there is a need and a necessity to create a platform to raise the awareness about the climate change. In 2022, this was a new thing for the whole region. Many companies, because it was affecting many organizations, large and small, SMEs, public sector. It's a commitment by the leadership, and it cannot be only by the government. So we thought, why not to have a platform to really raise the awareness, foster cross-sector discussions, and support the leadership with this. And of course, His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Dayna, the Minister of Oil and Environment and the Special Envoy for Climate Affairs, he has personally supported the forum with his wise leadership, advising us on the themes, and his team at the Supreme Council of Environment they played an important role in putting all these different themes around the forum in its 3 editions.
It's really great to see as well that emphasis on it being like a cross-sector endeavor as well, right? Because it's really everyone's responsibility. It's a collective responsibility there. And what was the significance of hosting the recent networking reception at Conrad Bahrain Financial Harbor, especially given the LEED Gold certification?
Well, we decided one of the important things is really to encourage dialogue. So we thought, why don't we bring the chief of sustainability, the leaders in sustainability from different sectors, from Bahrain and beyond, to discuss their latest achievements. And we thought, we want to prove that sustainability is not only inspirational, that we really have a building in Bahrain being based on green initiative. The infrastructure in Bahrain is showcasing that. It's not only words, it's not only theoretical, it's really happening. So we thought having it in a building which has this certification will really which will encourage others to really follow what we are doing in Bahrain.
Wonderful, and it's like you said, it really shows that action is being taken, and it shows you kind of that here we do, like you said, have the infrastructure to make this a possibility here in Bahrain. And what is the significance of events like this? How does it contribute towards meaningful progress with sustainability in Bahrain or beyond?
So what's happening, as you clearly said, sustainability is not a goal that can be achieved by someone. It's all about collective efforts, collaboration, different industries, different sectors, people from different ages. So having an event or a platform like the sustainability will bring people together, and these, the individuals who come over the last 3 years, we had around 1,500 delegates, if I want to count them among the physical delegation attending. They all come from different sectors, international and regional. When they discuss the different things they have done and the different challenges they have gone through, this really helps them to go forward. When the public sector discuss with the private sector what's happening, like in the latest edition, we had a panel where we had 4 regulators from Saudi, from UAE, from Bahrain, and from Oman, discussing the regulatory framework. And they were talking to each other and sharing their experiences among the audience who were from the private and the public sector. So all this dialogue, it is helping, these events help to achieve what we are trying to do and to deliver the messages. And I have to say, even from a media perspective, where media like yourselves have the opportunity to discuss with different people and learn and understand, this is a vital role to support the leadership to achieve the objectives.
Absolutely, and I think as well, even the time and dedication that is being put into attending events like this and expending all of those resources and energy in order to meet that common goal, I think is a testament in and of itself, isn't it? And also, what kind of cross-sector collaboration dialogue emerged from the gathering of this forum?
It's so interesting when we speak to our delegates or our partners. Many relationships, many business relationships were developed. Many platforms from Europe, they wanted to come to the region, from an AI perspective, they have their own platform to provide these solutions. Through our events, they have managed to speak to different local organizations. And when I say local, I don't mean only in Bahrain, local organizations in the region. And something which is very interesting, many human capital development was there. We had many young Bahrainis who are very interested in the sustainability. They were placed in organizations to work in the sustainability, and this is something I'm very proud of. And this is a long-term investment. So many things have been happening, and again, many of the speakers who come from abroad to Bahrain, they are very impressed with the ecosystem we have over here, with the different initiatives we provide over here. So I think if I want to quantify it, I cannot, but I have many success stories that we can share and people can see, like all these achievements, all these partnerships, all these MOUs which were signed.
Wonderful, and it's like you said, we were discussing earlier how it's an investment of also time and everything. You're mentioning that there are Bahrainis who are getting opportunities from this, so it's kind of showing that, you know, the issue of sustainability is not something that came out in a night and a day, right? And of course, combating it won't be like in a night or a day. So it's showing that you're kind of you're not only tackling the issues, but also laying the groundwork to foster this into an attitude that people will hold and inshallah move forward and take with them whatever sector they fall into. And speaking of long-term goals, can you highlight some of the key takeaways or outcomes from the events that shows the momentum towards the 2050 or 2060 net zero targets?
So our platform has different pillars. So we have the actual forum, then we have workshops, and these workshops are run by consultants like Boston Consultancy Group, Deloitte, KPMG, and many others, to actually train the delegates on different aspects of achieving net zero, whether it's reporting or whether it's counting. So these are tangible things and you can quantify them. And at the same time, as I said earlier, placing young talent, whether it's Bahraini or non-Bahraini, through the system when it comes to the sustainability and making them look at how they can, I have seen a few engineering students who attended the forum and decided to have a qualification on sustainability. So this is a long-term outcome. It's not only a short-term. Something interesting as well, a few of the international banks who have issued their reports, they have exchanged their knowledge with local banks. A few SMEs, this was an interesting panel, I think, on the first edition, where we had SMEs in renewable energy. They shared on the panel the challenges they are facing when it comes to financing. And this open dialogue between them and the banks on how this financing can be achieved. So through dialogue like this, there are outcomes, because you're not only having banks discussing their challenges, or oil and gas, or SMEs, or real estate. Everybody is there talking about their challenges and how they can work together to achieve it.
You know, it's brilliant because, you know, while we're talking about this, there's a lot of talk about collaboration and communication, and also, like you said, supporting, whether that's through education or other means. in developing an attitude towards sustainability that is long-term, that is very proactive as well. I'm realizing it's very proactive. And I imagine as well, when you have so many different entities, whether they're from the private sector or the public sector, you know, you also catch the things that you might not in working in one sector, so you'll have a more holistic approach. And I just want to ask you, is there anything you'd like to emphasize when it comes in particular to the educational side of the forum?
Well, the educational side of the forum, what we try to do is, other than the forum itself and the workshops, we try to focus on different themes and have focus roundtables on them, and they're not all in Bahrain. So we have done a few roundtables in Riyadh, we have done one in Dubai, in COP28. So when we bring a specific topic, like the first roundtable I remember we did in 2023 was on carbon markets, and that was a totally new topic. Now everybody talk about carbon markets, offsetting, but in 2023 that was a new topic. We brought speakers, regional speakers and international speakers. We highlighted the importance of carbon markets, and this is where many organizations started looking at it. So now in 2025, it is very, very advanced. Everybody's talking about carbon offsetting, which was not. So again, we did another roundtable on electric vehicles, because everybody, and this was in 2024, if I'm not mistaken, everybody suddenly is talking about electric vehicles, but we wanted to make it very focused to educate the market on the challenges, on the pros and cons, and what is the future. We did another one on mobility in Riyadh, and we did one in October 24 on human capital and the economic growth for the sustainability, which was very interesting, because many organizations, they look at sustainability as, oh, it's costly. But if they look at it in a long term, there is an economic growth in this. That's why governments and banks are focusing on it. The last one, which was very interesting for me, in April we did a roundtable with the Danat Institute. It was on pearling and marine life. It was so interesting to know that the pearls are the most or the only sustainable gems, ahjar thamina as we call it, or precious gems, and because they actually help in reducing the emission of the carbon. So, and Bahrain being it like we have the best pearls in the world, so that was something which was very positive, and having big companies like Asri, Alba discussing how they are protecting the marines. Again, this was an eye-opener. We had many people in the room that didn't know about that, because when we think sustainability, immediately we look at energy, petrol, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We don't look at the bigger picture. So this is all educational. Looking at the pearl life, at the marine life, it shows you that this is like an ocean, and there are many things to look at. So this is why education is continuous. Raising awareness is continuous, and different organizations know that everybody is involved in that. You and me are involved in this. It's like even when it comes to individuals.
Absolutely, and I think again that when you're talking about, like, for example, the pearling, and you're talking about how it affects the marine life and everything, I think that that just goes back and it kind of reflects on the fact that, like, it is a collaborative effort. And a collective effort, you know, all of those efforts are going to have a collective benefit for more than one sector, for our natural resources, and for our wildlife. And because, you know, the reality of it is that human beings don't exist in vacuums, right? We're all part of like an ecosystem. So it's great to see that those discussions have emphasized that point. And now, on that note of cohesion and collectivity, how do you value partnerships with major organizations like the Supreme Council for Environment, National Bank of Bahrain, Babco Energies? How do they amplify the forum's impact?
They are very important. They are vital, because at the end of the day, we have created a platform, but we are not the specialized people in that. Supreme Council of Environment, who are doing a great job when it comes to everything related to environment, they are the regulatory body as well. So we know what's happening, what's the vision, what are their plans. So whatever we do, we make sure that it is going with them. National Bank of Bahrain and Babco Energies, they are the important organizations who are really working hard and applying these projects. They have their sustainability departments, they have their strategies for net zero. International organizations like the Standard Chartered Bank and the Boston Consultancy Group and many others, they are also very important, because we want to know how international organizations are doing. And having an advisory board which is very diverse, and they really help us The advisory board is international, where we have, for example, a representative from the Ministry of Environment in Turkey, and we have, of course, from Bahrain, we have from Oman, and then we have the private sector, where we have around 4 members who are from companies which are owned by the PIF. This is all important because we are not only looking at Bahrain, we are not only looking at the region, we are looking at the bigger picture. And their expertise help us to build all these different panels, different roundtables, and to know what is there to go and to follow.
Wonderful. And on the note of partnerships as well, I know a little now. We've talked about how, for example, the private sector and some businesses were engaged with the forum. What has the feedback been from, especially businesses, when it comes to the impact of the forum?
We were amazed with the feedback, especially that in the last edition we had speakers from Google, we had speakers from many large organizations who are international. We had speakers from Aramco Aramco Ventures. Their feedback was so positive, and they said, through this platform, we managed to speak to people from different backgrounds, to different organizations, and they are actually always looking forward to what is next, what's your next roundtable. We want to take part. We have received very positive testimonials from international, regional, and local. So, and again, even from young generation, how they are eager and they want to be part. I personally receive requests on my LinkedIn from young engineers or young scientists who want to come and volunteer and be part of this platform. The event last Thursday was inspiring for me because it was like government, private, some people drove from Saudi just to attend a 1-hour networking event, just to share their knowledge. So this is all positive. Bahrain has been always the leader in many initiatives. I always say, Bahrain was the first to discover oil. We are the first for education, first in finance. When fintech was happening in 2017, we had so many work done over here, and sustainability has started many years ago. We didn't just started working in environment and sustainability and human capital. This has been something where our leadership started working on when we announced Vision 2030. So having such forums in Bahrain, it's something makes me proud as a Bahraini, because we want to be a hub for the region when it comes to sustainability. We want to be the hub for human capital development in this sector, and with the support of our media, of the different organizations, whether the public and the private, with the individuals, this is where we will reach. This is how we will reach to this objective.
I think you've wonderfully said something that I constantly say on the show, actually, which is the leadership of the Kingdom of Bahrain is always a few steps ahead, right? They are completely aware of what's going on, whether it's within the kingdom, whether it's globally, and there are always initiatives or channels that we can make use of and that we will get full support in order to develop, you know, whether it's something like sustainability, whether it's something like you said, like finances. So thank God that we have the kind of leadership that allows us, that not only supports us, but allows us to develop within those fields. And, you know, you've talked about how all of this has all started in the past, absolutely. And I think it paves a golden way for us forward. And speaking of going forward, looking ahead, what are the forum's key priorities and how can individuals or organizations become involved in supporting this vital task?
So we are finalizing the themes for the roundtables for 2025, which is part of the 3rd edition. We are discussing, maybe we will have a roundtable on exchanges and how listed companies are affected with this. We are working on another one on healthcare and sustainability. And we will be, again, these are all proposals, finalizing them. Something on insurance. I personally come from the insurance background as well, so insurance industry play a very important role when it comes to sustainability. So we will be having a few roundtables on that. We will be announcing them soon. And then we are working on our 4th edition, inshallah, in 2026. We are finalizing the themes. We are working together with the advisory board and the Supreme Council for Environment to announce the 4th edition, the dates, the themes, and how things are going forward. And again, they are all based on research and discussion with the advisory committee and what are the trends, the global trends and the regional trends.
Wonderful. So I'd just like to thank you so much for joining us today. I feel like I've learned a lot. Hopefully our viewers as well are going to benefit massively. And I'd like to thank you and everyone involved with the forum and our leadership as well for taking all of the necessary steps in order to make sustainability not only a feasible but inevitable future, not only for the Kingdom of Bahrain, but also beyond, inshallah. So thank you so much for joining us.
I just need to add one thing. Sustainability is a huge topic. There are different pillars under sustainability. Our platform is focusing on climate change and achieving net zero. This is only one thing out of the many other things which has been looked at, of course, by the government and the leadership. But our very focused goal of our platform is really anything related to climate change and achieving net zero. And I am positive with the support of everyone and all these positive feedback we are receiving, we will definitely support through our expertise, which is communication and event consultancy. We will be able to help the government and the private sector to have this collaboration and achieve the objectives of net zero.
Wonderfully said, and we look forward to that day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We have more coming up here on Bahrain Now. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for a look at what's going on beyond the studio in the following report.
The German Embassy in Bahrain launched Artists and Their Residence, a unique cultural initiative celebrating the transformation of the German ambassador's residence through contemporary Bahraini art. This collaborative project features renowned Bahraini artists Adnan Ahmad and Aysha Hafez, presented in partnership with the RAK Art Foundation, a non-profit organization dedicated to empowering artists by providing opportunities for visibility, development, and connection within the broader artist community. The Artists and the Residence marks a new era in Bahrain-Germany cultural collaboration, enhancing artistic dialogue and developing mutual appreciation through shared creativity. The Artists and the Residence project represents a new chapter in Bahrain-Germany cultural collaboration, strengthening artistic dialogue and mutual appreciation through shared creativity.
Tonight we're welcoming at the German residence two amazing artists, Bahraini artists, Adnan Ahmad and Aysha Hafez, who have generously accepted to redecorate my residence with their art. So what we did is we took off all the pictures and all the artwork that we have usually in this residence, and we gave them the space to redecorate the residence. So I'm eternally grateful to the RAK Art Foundation, Sheikh Rashid Al Khalifa, who supported us in this effort and who curated the event. And so I'm quite amazed with the results. Many people who have known this building for many years are really astonished by the beauty of the space now redecorated, and so I think it's just a sign that you have in Bahrain, we have fantastic artists who are extremely creative, who are gifted, who produce beautiful art, and I feel very privileged that tonight we are allowed to receive them in the German residence.
I am very happy to present my painting in the German Embassy residence. They collect some of my artwork for the decoration of the residence for this night. Actually, I have my style, I have my stamp, and this is some of my painting. Everybody knows my painting. If they saw any one of my painting, they know this is Adnan Ahmad. And I want to thank the Germany Embassy for giving me this chance to be here with you. And I want to thank the RAK Foundation for the cooperation with the Embassy to organize this event. And especially I want to thank Sheikh Rashid Al Khalifa for his coming here, the President of the Council of Bahrain Artists. And for all the Bahraini artists, it is an honor to be such a great artist in their eyes they look at us as the great artists, as the good artists. And if you know, Bahraini artists in this place is Bahraini artists in Germany. So I am very happy and I'm very honored to be in this event presenting the Bahraini artists.
The FrancoFilm Festival opened its third edition with a well-attended ceremony at EPIX Cinemas Dana Mall. The event was inaugurated by the French ambassador to the Kingdom of Bahrain and His Excellency Youssef bin Khalil, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Information, alongside representatives from 12 partner embassies.
I'm very proud and happy tonight to organize at the EPIX Cinema of Dana Mall, along with the French Alliance Française, and 12 partner embassies, this new edition, the third edition of the FrancoFilm Festival in Bahrain. This festival is very important because it's an occasion to showcase not only the diversity of the French-speaking world, but also the diversity and the richness of the French-speaking cinema all over the world. If I may recall, there are more than 300 million French speakers out on all the continents, and tonight and for the whole week there will be the broadcasting of movies from 4 different continents. The festival started yesterday until the 22nd of May, and it will be an occasion also to broadcast various diversity of movies, of cinema, from drama to comedies, and also including, by the way, animated movies for the kids. So everybody in Bahrain is most welcome to attend these movies. And the selection this year is, I must say, very unique. Well, you know, it's an occasion also for us with this FrancoFilm Festival to show that building bridges, talking to different nations, and working together can lead to this type of events that we are organizing with all the French, not all, but 12, as I said, partner embassies, but coming from the variety, the diversity of the Francophone continents and the Francophone world. If I may recall also that 93 countries over the world gather in the Francophonie International Organization, which is a place where I would say the key word is diversity. Diversity in the unity also of the language, of course, of the French language, which is shared by all these countries. And you will see this week with all the different type of cinemas that you know, this French-speaking world is very dynamic, inventive, and shows the beautiful movies.
The event saw the attendance of distinguished guests, including ambassadors and VIPs.
Congratulations to the French Embassy for organizing the third edition of the FrancoFilm Festival here in Bahrain. It's a very important event for the Francophone countries. Cyprus is one of the countries that is a member of the international organization, so the International Organization of the Francophonie. and we're really pleased to participate in this edition of the festival. France and Cyprus have a very robust and long-standing collaboration that encompasses also culture and arts. The significance of this event is that it signifies the importance and the relevance of the French language in our everyday lives, in our modern societies and world. It's a global language which has a meaning and relevance to over 1 billion citizens and people across the world. And having this kind of events really brings us together through culture and arts, and brings us closer to understanding the French language through an impressive lineup of movies and documentaries. Cyprus participates in this year's festival with a documentary which also showcases the strong bonds between Cyprus and France in the area of culture and archaeology.
I find this event extremely significant because it is sort of a bridge that brings together countries that have a background and heritage and culture in the French language and Francophone culture that spreads throughout the whole world. We have around 13 countries, I believe, taking part at this event. From Canada, from obviously France, Switzerland, Belgium, Northern Africa, Lebanon. And so everybody comes from somewhere, everybody has a different story to tell, and no better way to do it than to share this common passion and love for the French language and tell your story through art, which can be through painting, could be through writing, could be through sculpture, and in this case it's through film. I could think of also no better place to host it than Bahrain, which is known to be an open, tolerant, and culturally vibrant country. And so this is an ideal location to host it and bring all sorts of cultures together. This is our second time taking part as Canada. Last year it was in the same location, and I was so pleased to see in the movie young Bahraini students, I would say no older than high school age, coming and watching the films. Maybe they're studying French, maybe they want to learn more about the culture, but I thought it was beautiful. It's free entry, so it's accessible to all, and I think it's a magnificent opportunity to showcase what the French community globally has to offer.
The opening night featured the screening of The Count of Monte Cristo 2024. A fresh take on the iconic novel by Alexandre Dumas, the film has become a major box office success in France, drawing nearly 10 million viewers and earning multiple awards. The FrancoFilm Festival showcased a wide selection of French-language films. The festival highlights the diversity and creativity of Francophone cinema, offering audiences a window into the contemporary French-speaking world. The technical delegates meeting for the Asian Youth Games Bahrain 2025 was held in Manama with the participation of representatives from Asian National Olympic Committees and the Olympic Council of Asia. Over 3,500 athletes from 42 Asian countries are expected to compete in 24 sports across 31 subcategories, with a total of 253 events for men, women, and mixed teams. A doping awareness program will also be implemented in coordinating with relevant bodies and in line with WADA regulations. The event marks Bahrain's first time hosting the Asian Youth Games.
My name is Lunes Maden. I am Technical Director in Olympic Committee, so in charge of the sport department here in Baigog, the organizing committee of the third Asian Youth Game. So today it's for us very important meeting because we are meeting all the technical delegate. Those technical delegate has been appointed by the International Federation or the Continental Federation to manage the competition. So we have to, during this, let's say 2 to 3 days meeting, to fix all the technical details, as well the technical organization of the different sport, the technical handbook, the ITOs, the number of ITOs that we should have to manage the competition, the layout of all the field of play, the competition program, the entries by sport, by number. All those details need to be fixed during this 2-3 days meeting. So after that, we will be ready to have a clear vision of the overall competition program for the Asian Youth Game. As you know, we will have 24 sports, 31 discipline, because some sports we have 2 discipline, and it will be something really, let's say, huge program for Bahrain. Will be one of the most biggest game ever here in Bahrain. Inshallah, it will be a great competition for Asian continent.
The first technical delegate meeting happened today, and it was a critical element of organizing these games due to the importance of the 24 sports that will be part of the Asian Youth Games, which hasn't been conducted in a long time. So having the technical delegates from all over Asia come to Bahrain to inspect the venues, to solidify the sports program, all the competitions program, was crucial to the heart of these games as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of another episode of Bahrain Now. As always, be sure to reach out to us on our social media accounts shown below. We love to hear from you. Until next time, this was Khalid Hijris. Good night and God bless.